Hi, my name is Chris Daughter. I am a Dare Extension Master Gardener volunteer. Shrubs are important features of a landscape. Viburnum are adaptable shrubs that rank among the most ornamental and useful for general landscape purposes, especially on the Outer Banks. Viburnum are tolerant of many different growing conditions, but almost all of them grow well in moderately fertile, well-drained soil in full sun to partial shade. Once established, most are low maintenance. An annual application in late winter of a balanced fertilizer can be beneficial. This species is exceptionally resistant to damage from insects and adapts well to a wide range of climates. Potential disease problems include bacterial leaf spot, mildews, and crown gall. Potential insects include aphids and scale, which we always get. These happen quite frequently during the spring and summer in our hot and humid climate. Now, there are more than 150 species and cultivars of viburnums, which range in size from low shrubs to small trees with white or pink flowers and many fruit colors for wet or dry areas, from formal to native or exotic, and some with inspiring fall color. Which of these survive and thrive on the Outer Banks? In this presentation, we will start with viburnums that are native and do well in our climate. Then move on to viburnums native to other countries that adapt well to the Outer Banks. This Chindo viburnum can be found in the butterfly garden at the Arboretum. Viburnum dentatum, commonly called arrowwood. We'll start with these natives because they do provide food for wildlife and are among the toughest of landscape plants. Now, arrowwood is native to the southeast. It can grow from 6 to 15 feet tall and is wide. It does well in full sun to part shade, but does not have good heat tolerance, so providing it with afternoon shade helps. It does display salt tolerance near coastlines. In late spring, white flowers 2 to 4 inches wide bloom. Normally, they are scentless, but some say can be a little ill-odored. The bluish to black fruit matures in September and October and are a favorite food of birds. The dark green leaves may turn yellow or red in the fall, adding fall color to the landscape. Of course, there are numerous selections of Arrowwood viburnum. Viburnum nudum, sometimes known as swamp viburnum, is a large shrub growing 6 to 10 feet high and is wide. It prefers moist soil and will tolerate wet soil and partial shade. It is heat tolerant, which can be important here on the Outer Banks. In May through June, it develops musky, scented, creamy white flowers in 3 to 5 white, flat-topped cymes. The fruit starts out green and then turns a waxy pink to rose to bluish and finally a purplish black. Again, there are many varieties of Viburnum nudum. Pink Beauty, it has light pink flowers in the spring and pink to blue fruit in the fall. Then you have Winterthur, which grows into a large bush, but it stands out in the fall with beautiful dark red leaves and the dark blue berries. Viburnum casanoides, wither rod. This grows as an attractive, dense, rounded plant from 6 to 10 feet tall. The dark green leaves turn an orange-red in fall, enhancing the fall garden. Flat clusters of white flowers in May to June develop into highly ornamental mixed color clusters of green, pink, red, and blue fruits that all mature to black in early to late fall. Now, it prefers full sun to part shade, especially during the heat of the summer afternoon. Viburnum Varieties, another native, sometimes called the small viburnum, but the only thing small about this viburnum is the leaves. It is very dense, small, semi-evergreen, early emerging foliage and is suitable for hedging. The small leaves may turn a bronze purple in the fall through winter and can persist, again depending on the weather. The leaf persistence and winter coloration varies from plant to plant and year to year. Viburnum prunifolium, black haw. Because of its supposed similarity to hawthorns, it's sometimes referred to as a black haw, and it tolerates full sun to part shade and is drought tolerant. The white flowers that bloom from May to June are non-fragrant, but develop into fruit that is not only showy, but edible for animals as well as humans, if you can get to them before the birds. Leaves turn attractive shades of red and purple in the fall. Viburnum rufidulum, sometimes called southern black haw, rusty black haw, is a deciduous shrub. The name rusty comes from the leaf undersides, buds, and young stems that are covered with a rusty colored brown hairs. Non-fragrant white clusters of flower appear in April, followed by dark blue berries that ripen in the fall. Birds are attracted to it, and again, the fruit is edible by humans. Leaves turn a beautiful reddish purple in the fall. Now, these are 4 viburnums, which are exotics, non-native shrubs. They have adapted well to the coastal environment of North and South Carolina and have been used frequently in landscaping. They are evergreen and produce flowers that are fragrant. Viburnum Japonicum, sometimes referred to just as a Japanese viburnum, is a fast-growing evergreen shrub. It grows to about 6 to 8 feet tall and as wide. The leathery leaves make it moderately salt tolerant, and once established, it is moderately drought tolerant. In May to June, it produces tiny, scented flowers in dense clusters. Butterflies and other pollinators are attracted to it. It does well in full sun, but appreciates some afternoon shade. The red oval berries that mature in the fall are attractive to the birds. The Japanese viburnum is among the most cold-hardy of the evergreen viburnums. Viburnum odoratissimum, commonly called sweet viburnum, is a moderately growing shrub from the Himalayas to Japan. The plant will appreciate some afternoon shade in really hot climates and is only small to moderately drought tolerant. What really sells this plant is the fragrant white flowers that appear in late spring to early summer. These give way to red fruits which mature to black and are very attractive to birds. The leaves, when crushed or injured, can give off a foul odor. Viburnum suspensum, sometimes called Dunkwa viburnum, is a shrub that grows approximately 6 to 12 feet high with a spreading habitat. It does well in full sun to part shade and is one of the few non-native viburnum that can tolerate hot, dry areas as well as our sandy soils. The fragrant flowers that are white with a tinge of pink develop in the late winter to early spring. This viburnum can be seriously injured by hard freezes that occur in our zone 8, especially if it occurs in the early winter. Viburnum tinus is an evergreen shrub that grows 6 to 12 feet tall and a bit less wide. It is adaptable to all soil types as long as it is well drained. It will grow well in sun or shade. Clusters of pink buds open to white, fragrant flowers between January and early April. The fruits are a bluish-black in color and may appear at the same time the flowers bloom. While the plant is hardy to 0 degrees Fahrenheit once established, the leaves may suffer some cold damage if temperatures dip below 10 degrees Fahrenheit. The genus Viburnum is immense, and choosing the right cultivar for your garden can be daunting and confusing. Here we have offered just a few of the selections that we know have grown well here on the Outer Banks and then does survive here. There are many more out there, and if you need more information about this plant, you can, or any kind of gardening questions, you can call Ask a Master Gardener at 473-4290 or email greenlineobx@gmail.com. Thank you for listening.